Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. And welcome to the weekend. It is Saturday morning. I hope your week has been going really well and that you have a bit of time to rest and recuperate on the weekend. Our teacher this week is Neil Donald Walsh, and I'm going to jump right in with today's message. Good morning, Marcia. Happy Saturday morning. Sunmarie, good morning. Happy Saturday. The world around us is a swirling vortex of events, most of which are completely beyond our control. Yet we often find ourselves desperately trying to shape the world to our liking, almost like trying to grasp at the reins of a dozen wild horses. This futile pursuit of control can lead to a life of constant stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. It is in these moments of turmoil that we must learn to let go, to surrender to the inevitable, and to discover the true source of peace within ourselves. Gregory, good morning. Charlene, good morning. Happy Saturday. Hello. You can't change what happens in the world around you, but you can change how you respond to what happens in the world around you. The first thought from Neil Donald Walsh says, "You see, suffering has nothing to do with events, but with one's reaction to them. What happens or what is happening is merely what's happening. How you feel about it is another matter. I have given you the tools with which to respond and react to the events in a way which reduces, in fact, eliminates pain, but you have not used them." And the reminder here is that this comes from the book Conversations with God. And in his experience of this was the way that God spoke to Neil Donald Walsh. He says, "I have given you the tools with which to respond and react to events in a way which reduces, in fact, eliminates pain, but you have not used them." Tanya, very good morning. Hello. Anthony, good morning. Great seeing you here. The next thought from Neil Donald Walsh says, "Do not jump into reaction mode at the first appearance of negative energy. Just breathe and relax." And that is almost at the core of all of this. Do not jump into reaction mode at the first appearance of negative energy. Just breathe and relax. You cannot change the outer event, but you must change the inner experience. Almaray, good morning. Great seeing you. Hello, Pat. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Just as there is constant movement, constant change in the world around us, so too our inner world is in constant flux. Within us, thoughts and emotions are always flowing in and out like clouds in the sky, and we need to create a similar spaciousness in our response to our inner world as we have learned to have with the world around us. It's helpful to have a simple routine that gives us the opportunity to practice spaciousness, the ability to stop, breathe, and just observe for a while, not letting our fear steer our reactions, but choosing how it is we wish to respond. Today's meditation is one such simple practice. With practice, you can learn to master the art of the pause. The come to your senses meditation is exactly that. It is practicing the art of the pause. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Our journey today is a step-by-step process of checking in with this body. And we'll start that right now. With your next exhale, as your body softens, bring your attention to your forehead, to the space between your eyes. Do you sometimes find yourself carrying a frown there? And when you do you remind your body that it can soften? It doesn't have to walk around so tense. With your next exhale, bring your attention to the space in and around your mouth. Do you sometimes find yourself grinding your teeth? Do you sometimes perhaps find yourself pushing your tongue hard against the roof of your mouth, or your jaw muscles clenched tightly? If you do, in those moments, do you take the time to talk your body through a few breaths and softness? Let your body know that it would be okay to soften and relax. With your next exhale, bring your attention to your neck and shoulders. Do you sometimes find your shoulders pulled up high and tight, perhaps almost even level with your ears? And in those moments, if you do find your shoulders pulled up high, do you take a few moments to roll them out Soften them while you take a few big breaths. With your next exhale, bring your attention to your stomach area, to your abdominal muscles. Tension can hide there under our radar so effectively. You check in there from time to time to make sure you're not carrying tension in your abs. With your next exhale, as your body softens, a quick check-in with your butt cheeks just to make sure you're not clenching. Become completely relaxed. And lastly, check in with your arms and your legs. Specifically, check in with your hands. This is another place where tension can hide under our radar. Have you ever had the imprints of your nails on your palms? For this moment, make sure your hands are halfway open, lying gently in your lap. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, continuing to help our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. Forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left and lean your upper body over to the right. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least slipping into presence as much as we can, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then with every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, a really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips in and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. Feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, welcome yourself to this body. Take a moment perhaps to wrap your arms around this body and say, "Hello, body. It really is good to have you." Take your next big breath. our journey of the senses starts at the top and then works its way through our bodies. The first stop is your eyes, what you can see, or in this exercise, what you would have been able to see if you were to open your eyes. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, what would be the most obvious thing that you would see in the room that you are in if you were to open your eyes? Now, with your eyes closed, study this obvious thing from all of its angles, see all of its color, and find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears. This time, when you take a deep breath and dive deep into you, the question is, what would be the least obvious thing to see in the room that you are in if you were to open your eyes? Take a moment and find that less obvious object with your mind. And then look at it from all of its angles, study all of its color, find all of its texture. Take your next big breath. Remind yourself that you are practicing the art of the pause. And that just like in this moment where you're able to observe something without needing to react to it, it is very often true in almost all circumstances that we can observe without instantly reacting. We'll take a step down to your ears and what you can hear. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to the most obvious sound that you can hear and listen deep into it. See if you can find different vibrations in this obvious sound. Take your next big breath. And then we'll change gears. Still staying with what you can hear, but this time, what is the faintest sound that you can find right now? Something that's barely a whisper. Lean in and listen deeply into this faint sound. Take your next big breath. Remind yourself that you are practicing the art of the pause. The ability to, in a moment of wanting to react, remember that there's probably no good reason for an instant reaction. I can be the observer for a moment. We're taking another step down, and for the next 2 spots, your nose and your mouth, change your breathing to whatever it needs to be for you to smell and to taste. So the next 2 stop is your nose. And what you can smell. So with your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, bring your attention to any obvious smell you can find right now. Take your next big breath. And then, with your next big breath as you dive deep into you, be curious about the possibility of finding any other smell, anything besides the first obvious smell. Take your next big breath. Remind yourself that you are practicing the art of the pause. Practicing being the observer that doesn't have the need to instantly react to the world around itself. But remind yourself that the art of the pause can just as effectively be applied to our inner world too. You can pause and observe everything that happens inside of you as well. We take a step down to your mouth, specifically your taste buds, what you can taste. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, see if you're able to find any obvious taste right now. Take your next big breath. we'll switch gears. Still staying with what you can taste, but this time be curious about your ability to find any other taste. Anything besides the first obvious taste. Take your next big breath. Remind yourself that what you are practicing is the art of the pause. You're practicing a reminder that almost nothing needs us to instantly react to it. Whether it's happening in the world around us or in our inner world, we almost always have time to take a few big breaths and be conscious about how we respond to anything. Our last stop is the surface of your skin. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, scan the surface of your skin and find where is the most obvious sensation, the most obvious pressure, and see if you can describe all of that sensation to yourself. Take your next big breath. We have one more stop to do, and that is finding on the surface of your skin the slightest sensation. Can you find a spot where perhaps you can just feel fabric rest on skin? Or perhaps you can become aware of the air touching your forehead or your cheek. Take your next big breath. We'll take one more big breath together. Slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time today's message by Neil Donald Walsh. And the reminder is that these words come from his experience of having a conversation with God. It says, "You see, suffering has nothing to do with the events, but with one's reaction to them. What's happening is merely what's happening. How you feel about what's happening, well, that's a completely different matter. I have given you the tools with which to respond and react to events in a way which reduces, in fact, eliminates pain, but you have not used them. Do not jump into reaction mode at the first appearance of negative energy. Just breathe and relax. You cannot change the outer event, so you must change the inner experience. Just as there is constant movement, constant change in the world around us, so too our inner world is in constant flux. Within us, thoughts and emotions are always flowing in and out like clouds in the sky. And we need to create a similar spaciousness in our response to our inner world as we have learned to have with the world around us. Almost nothing needs our instant reaction. And the truth is, our instant reaction is almost always an old program, an old pattern, which means if we react instantly, everything we do is on autopilot. It comes from old information, and we are not actually using our free will. We get to exercise our free will only if we master the art of the pause. Giving us some time to check in with our wisdom. Thank you for joining us on today's journey. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to take a moment to check in with every part of this body. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning to recognize my fast brain. We have these two sides to it. And I recognize that my fast brain, the part of my brain that wants to always quickly react, that is just full of old programming. Every time it's my fast brain acting, it'll be the same old reaction over again. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to allow my slow brain to catch up. Taking a few breaths and waiting for the slow brain to get there and think through this before I act. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to become a better operator of this vehicle. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being a part of our journey today. Thank you for embracing the art of the pause in your own life and learning that we can always take a moment, and sometimes we have to ask for that moment. Sometimes we have to say, give me a moment, I'm going to get back to you. I need to take a moment to think through this. Perhaps that is even the next day. Can we talk about this again tomorrow? I'm going to give myself time to just think through this. Good morning, honey. It's great seeing you here. Big thanks for popping in. Grania, hope you have a great day. Thank you, Sunmary. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Tanya. It was so cool to see you popping in with us live. Thank you, Pat. Have a beautiful day, beautiful humans. See you again soon. Ciao, ciao.